So my healing time would be, because when we come as foreigners, we can't really get the treatment as Thai people can.
Topical steroid withdrawal is impacting lives in so many terrible ways. People are desperate for help, desperate for support outside of time being the only healer. They're seeking help from cold atmospheric plasma treatment. You can hear their stories here. We're here with Viktor, and Viktor is from Sweden. He's going to talk to us about, all sorts of things as it relates to being here for CAP, and just going to share his journey with us. In fact, he leaves tonight. We're videoing this in the morning, and he leaves late tonight to head home. So you're getting, Viktor straight goods as he departs after being here. He was one of the first that arrived early on. So, Viktor, thanks for doing this with us. Thanks for making the time this morning.
Thank you.
Can you please share for us your eczema topical steroid withdrawal story, and then shed some light on how you decided to just drop everything back home in Sweden and come here?
All right. So from the start, I'm a eczema child. So I had my first steroids when I was 1 or 2 years old. My parents can't really remember that. So I mainly used like the weaker ones, the hydrocortisone one, until I was,
So like middle potency.
yeah, until
Okay.
I was in my teens, I think, and then I started to use the stronger ones. But it wasn't. I didn't have eczema all
And how
the
old are you
time.
now, Viktor?
29.
Okay.
So I
Still
didn't.
young, still young.
Yeah, still young. So I had one of my first major flares when I was maybe 20 or something, when I started to realize that maybe the steroids aren't that good. They're not working for me. So I tried uh, the light therapy.
Yes.
What do you call it?
Red light?
No.
UV,
At
UV.
the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
With
I
the
tried.
big chamber.
Yeah. So that worked for me with the steroids 2 or 3 times, and then as I got older in my 20s, it just got worse and worse. But actually, I was against the steroids already from 2015, 16, so maybe 8 years ago. Because I started to think like this can't be the only solution, putting more steroids on all the
Yeah.
time. It should be something else. And it's the same with the moisturizers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, on and off. Um, I don't know.
So what was your breaking point?
For TSW,
Yeah.
in 2021, I had more eczema than ever before, and it wasn't the same, it was something different. So I stumbled on this TSW during that summer actually, but then I thought like, no, I don't have this. So I kind of panicked. I think a lot of people do that when they realize they maybe have TSW, because it's such a big thing and you don't know when you're going to get well.
And it just feels like eczema has taken over your
So
body.
it started around my chest and then patching on.
Okay.
And eventually I just had all my arms and all my chest, my back, everything was itching. I was at the hospital, and eventually they wanted to prescribe me methotrexate.
Yes. Yeah.
But there I kind of stopped and said, no, I want to do this without. So I finished my prescription of prednisone, the
Yep.
oral steroids.
Yeah.
And I started my TSW in 2022, 1st of January.
Oh, that's when I started.
Yeah, we are a few that actually started the same.
Okay.
So I tried first, and then I had a huge flare on my face and had to use the steroids again. But that's when I started for real. And after that, yeah, I did the NMT in April.
Okay.
It worked wonders for a while.
Yeah.
But my skin was thinning, more thin. So during the autumn, so from August, I was more sensitive, but that was actually because my skin was doing better. I shed off so much of my
Yeah.
old skin.
Yeah.
But I thought it was worse because I didn't have the knowledge as I have now, and we will come to that later. But NMT has gotten me that I have fungal infection now, so.
So tell us, okay, pause there for a second to
Yeah.
describe what you were doing during NMT at home that has now led to this fungal infection.
I might have fungal before. I can't say for sure.
Sure.
But The thing that I did, I followed the protocol and I tried to shower once or twice a week. But eventually, because it was so nice not to shower, because the shower is
Painful.
painful. Yeah, so at the end of it, I showered maybe once every 2 weeks, and I didn't have enough fluid for me. I think I stopped that when it was August again. I said, no, I need to drink. Um, I think NMT is very good if you know what you're doing, and
Right.
if you have someone that can look out for you, that actually knows the signs of fungal or bacterial infection, because that's what I got later on. The moisturizing that I stopped with that was very good because it only made me inflamed and red and itchy
That's
all the
right.
time. But I actually had my what do you call the lymph, the swollen.
Yeah. Yeah. Expanded lymph nodes.
Yeah, I had that
Yeah.
here
Yes.
in November, December, and then in January, I had this impetigo,
Impetigo. Yeah.
for 2.5 months. And then I had, for the first time during my TSW, I had to take some time off from my work or studying.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a social worker now. So when I started, I was actually studying,
Okay.
and I just powered through everything. But
Wow. Congratulations on that.
I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but in January 20 this year, my infection was too bad, so I had to stay home. And it just went. I took antibiotics, it came back. Antibiotics came back, And I saw Mariette's post
Mhm.
on Facebook. So at that time, I was very. I mean, I've tried a lot of things, and I just felt like this infection is not going to give. I just didn't know what to do. The doctors didn't help me, and I was afraid to go back to the hospital and get steroids. So I saw this as an opportunity, first and foremost, to get rid of my infection and just get help with that. And then I started a GoFundMe. I got mainly money from my friends and family,
Okay.
um, and most of it I've actually paid for myself. I had to quit my job, and
Like many of us.
yeah, like many of us, and just like you said, I dropped everything. I left my girlfriend at home.
Mhm.
It's been 5 months now, so that's been tough. But
Mm.
I just thought skin first because our relationship didn't. I mean, it worked, but I was always tired. We
Yeah.
haven't have a real date in almost 1 year.
Well,
So
you're going home soon, so you're going to be able to do that. But
yes,
I have a question for you, Victor, before we talk about CAP. Can you, for the viewers, describe the feeling when your lymph nodes were expanded in your thighs? Just like what did that feel like for you? Was it painful? Was it uncomfortable? Was it itchy?
not really, not painful with the lymph noodles, but it was. I don't know. It felt like I had two like what do you call it? Two objects here. I mean, they were huge, and I was very concerned at that time because I didn't know what it was. The knowledge that I have now, I know, but at that time I don't know. But the worst thing for me was like itching every night. I woke up, not every night, but almost every night, going to the sink, having hot water, as
Oh,
hot as I could, and
yeah,
just pouring it over my arms, because when you do that, as many of you know, might the itching stops
for a moment.
for a moment, but then the healing stops as well.
Yeah.
So, but
You have a lot of knowledge, Victor. This is going to be a fun conversation. So,
yeah,
tell me, you get here, you drop everything, you start this GoFundMe based on your own like common sense. You're like, I need money. I've been studying. I
yeah,
need help. This is sort of a last resort, I guess. As you described.
yeah.
So you get here, you go in for treatment on day one. It's your ground zero. How did you feel? What did you learn? What happened on that day?
Oh, when I came,
Yeah. The first day you went for your
uh,
first treatment.
oh, my first treatment. So I had to wait for 2 or 3 days to see if my condo was irritant free, which it was. I sent pictures to Jay, and we said okay. On my first
What
treatment,
does irritant free fungal look like?
irritant free fungal.
Mm.
Uh, I guess because the fungal doesn't show in the beginning because there's so much TSW skin, so it's very hard for. They actually didn't see my fungal until 5, 6 treatments in. They
Okay.
said possible, but it looks I can see my weak spots where I
Okay.
had my fungal, because that's where my I will get red there, so I can like see it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um, but just irritant-free skin. I mean, it's not red.
Okay. So you get
Um,
to the CAP clinic, you meet Jay for the first time,
yeah,
you sit down. What happens? What do you learn about your case?
I've learned that first and foremost, I was trying. He asked me how much have you used, and I actually didn't know.
How much steroids have you
Yeah, how
used all
much
your life?
steroids?
Yeah.
But eventually, like I calculated for 150 grams of class 3. So I used Betnovat. I don't know what that's called in the Betnovat. Is that a
Betamethasone.
yes?
Yeah.
Um,
That's also what I use
oh, okay.
predominantly. Yeah.
So I would say I'm more of a mild case, but then I have my fungus, so I don't know. That
Okay.
takes a long time to heal. But
Okay.
according to the calculations that they have learned from 15 years of work, so there's not really a study of it, but he has, he has so many patients, so he can kind of, it's a hypothesis. You say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so my healing time would be, because when we come as foreigners, we can't really get the treatment as Thai people can. They get treatment the first maybe 10 or 12 sessions, depending on your skin quality, of
Right.
course. Until the cell proliferation is 100%, they get it every week. And then they extend to 10 days, then they
Mm-hmm.
extend to 2 weeks, and just continue to do that. But because I can't be here for too long,
Mm.
I had my treatment plan to be stable, which is still sensitive. So my previous eczema skin would be 7 months, one treatment a week.
Okay.
So now I'm doing 5 months, 1 week, one treatment a week
Okay.
ish.
So, so you've done one treatment a week. You've been here for 5 months. You're going home today.
Yeah,
Between now and these, or sort of the previous 5 months, and the case of fungal that you've been dealing with, your TSW skin,
yeah.
how has the healing been for you? If you can kind of just quickly describe that.
Oh, my healing has been very good. I After 8 sessions, I think I had 100% self proliferation, and you can see that depending on how my skin was healing, how fast it was making scabs
Mm.
and flaking,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then it just, I mean, it slowly went on. My biggest problem has been scratching, so especially at night, and I know it's so hard to do something about that. I mean, during the day it's okay, but at night, I mean, you're unconscious, so you have to really practice mindful scratching and not touching your skin a lot during the day, and then your brain will eventually learn that for the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
But now, when I'm going home now, I've been more stressed, so now I scratch more.
Yes.
But it's just a part of the process, and I've learned so much that now I know what's causing my flares. I know that it's irritants. I know that it's chemicals from like detergents, cleaning products, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
paint. We actually had now in my
Mm-hmm.
condo, two
Yeah.
and a half months in, I started to get more and more red, and I didn't know why, but they were painting in my house. And eventually I figured out, okay, that's why I'm getting more red now. So it was just my skin was strong-ish, but because it was a low irritant
Mm.
day to day,
Mm.
after 3 weeks, my flare was showing.
Mm.
So my best tip would be, and they told me that everything that's new that you're using, like now I'm using a new detergent. I wrote that up. So 9th of August, I started.
Okay.
And then I can see it's been 2 weeks. And if I start to flare and I don't know what it is, and
Yeah.
I checked everything else,
Yes.
then I know maybe it's the detergents, because you don't know what you did yesterday. I mean, I don't
So you're
remember.
basically saying, and this is kind of the common theme from everybody, don't add a new layer to your everyday occurrences.
No.
Kind of deduce what your problem is based on one new thing that you add, not
Yeah.
multiple new things.
Reduce
Okay.
as much as you can.
Right.
And I'm so happy that it wasn't. I Before I ate gluten free, dairy free, sugar free, everything. And when I came here, I realized that it's more about the outside,
Your
the
environmental.
environment. I mean, the skin is the biggest organ.
Yes.
So I've just been eating whatever I wanted here and still healed.
Okay.
Um, I don't know.
So Victor, we have you for another few minutes because I know you got to get to the airport.
Yeah.
What? How do you feel today? You're leaving. How do you feel about your healing? How do you feel about your mindset? How do you feel about your skin? Do you feel
Hmm.
like you came here and accomplished what you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, I wish I could stay longer,
Okay.
but I mean, I have a new job now. I have to apply for that
Okay.
over here. So
Oh, you got the new job, so you're going home.
yeah, yeah. So I
Oh,
start
good.
next week on Friday.
Oh, look at
I'm
how that's very rewarding.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
good.
I'm a bit worried that I will flare again. But
Okay.
I know why. I know why I flare, and as long as I have the knowledge and pre-cap, I didn't know like how long is it going to take? Is it going to take 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 7? I don't know. Now I
Mm-hmm.
know kind of where I am, and my skin looks normal, but I'm still sensitive, so I'm just super happy about it. So it's been a big investment, but I think it's been a very good investment for me. I don't know how long it would took, and when I get back now, maybe I can't drink alcohol, maybe I can't do all of these things, but I'm still happy because I know what I can do and not can.
Yeah.
It's so much better. I'm still limited, but I don't really care. I mean,
Well, I mean, I think that's great.
yeah,
Victor, I wish you all the best. And again, thanks for taking the time to do this with us just on the margins of your departure. It's
yeah,
really special to spend this time with you.
mm.
And just thanks for being part of my healing journey, too.
Yeah. Thanks, and I really like these interviews because, as I've always said, I have my Instagram too. I think I will still be active,
Okay.
but because I've been living in this TSW world for so long, I want to live my normal life as well.
Of course.
And I put on a lot of information in both Swedish and English.
Okay.
Um, but knowledge is really the key to all of this. So even if you can't go for CAP, just educate yourself
Okay.
about this, and you can avoid so much. I've helped a lot of people at home
Okay.
that's not here.
That's good. That's great. Well, thanks, Victor. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. For more stories such as this, please follow my IG.